Greetings, everybody, and thank you for coming out to my channel. This is a historic time to be trading Forex. Unlike the stock market, Forex and crypto traders are having some incredible gains right now. And this is a trend that will most likely continue for a very long time. For those of you where this is the first time you are checking out my channel or a video of mine, my name is Jeremy Dancer, and I am a Forex coach, Forex trader, and hedge fund manager. I use my channel on YouTube to also share information about the law of attraction, as I have learned that it has helped a lot in terms of mastering my attraction to my performance as a trader. All right. And I just wanted to also address why I slowed down on making Forex videos. My group went from 80 members to 140 members, or over 140 members. And the nature of my program is very unique in that I work with each person who comes into my Forex group. And everyone who joins my group receives a free Zoom meeting with me. And my program is worldwide. So there are times I was doing Zoom meetings at 2 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, all throughout the week. And it was a lot to manage at one point. But now that I have caught up with everything, I am ready for new members, and I can also start posting videos as well. My goal is to post about 1 to 2 Forex videos per month. And my content is very unique in that I am giving you guys information that will last over a long time. I am very big on fundamentals, and fundamentals don't change. So like price action, demand, supply, trends, and learning how to identify these things is not something that's always going to change. What might change is how we go about finding those things. All right. In this video, I'm going to be discussing quite a few things. This is going to be a great video for experienced traders. If you're new, I'm going to be providing some helpful information as well. But if you don't know or understand what Forex is, you need to start understanding what Forex is. Even if you don't want to be a trader, so much is happening in the economy, the US economy, the global economy. Currencies are changing. You need to understand what is going on. All right. So we'll be discussing the US dollar, the stock market, and then I'm also going to be doing some live analysis on gold, the US dollar, Japanese yen, the pound, Japanese yen, and also give you guys some incredible information on cryptos. And there are some amazing opportunities unfolding. Okay, so get ready to learn a lot, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. If you want to know more about my program, go to the website above me, and that's more than enough information. And of course, you can contact me as well. Okay, so I want to first begin briefly with just going over the US dollar. The US dollar has had a major drop since Trump started the trade war with the whole entire world basically. But I don't think Trump's trade war is going to be sustainable much longer. I think eventually he is going to have to pull away completely from his tariffs because just the other day, it was reported that the month of April was the worst month since the Great Depression. And uh, I don't think Trump is going to be okay with putting the U.S. into a Great Depression. So we saw once he backed away from pushing his tariffs and attacking Fed Chairman Powell, the U.S. dollar was able to recover. And I think in the coming weeks, I think Trump is going to pull away from his tariffs altogether. But we'll have to see. Trump is very unpredictable. So many people might be wondering, well, why doesn't Fed Chairman Powell just lower the rates and give Trump what he wants? And that's because Fed Chairman Powell's job is to protect the US dollar as the reserve currency of the world. And it is also his job to protect the US economy. If Fed Chairman Powell lowers interest rates on the US dollar at a time when people think we're already in a recession and heading into a Great Depression, then that will confirm what everyone is thinking. And Fed Chairman Powell does not want that. He doesn't care what Trump says. He's always going to protect the US dollar because to lose that status would be a serious crisis in the US if we ever lose the US dollar as the reserve currency of the world. Okay, so the next currency I wanted to talk about was gold. And gold has been super tricky to trade lately, but the moves on gold has been epic. I mean, there's been days where gold has moved 1,000 pips. 1,000 pips in one day is absolutely insane. Most currencies don't even move 1,000 pips in a month. So with the way gold is moving right now, this is the absolute must currency to trade to have an incredible year. So what I've been noticing with gold is you have to look at gold deeper than just the trend because even the pullbacks on gold are pretty massive. So right here, this is my GDAX indicator, and it's pretty solid in terms of the overall trend. Right now, GDAX has gold in a strong downtrend, and this trend is likely to continue, at least for the rest of the week with the way things are going. But you see these moves right here. So gold hit 32.90, and then it shot all the way up to 32 or no 33.38. Well, this is a 400 pip pullback. I mean, this is a massive move right here. And if we switch to the 15-minute time frame, just so you can kind of see it better, gold has been in a steady downtrend all this time, but the pullbacks are like 100 to 400 pips. So it's possible to be trading gold correctly. You're selling when you're supposed to be selling, you're buying when you're supposed to be buying, but you still get stopped out simply because the pullbacks are so strong. So the way I am starting to look at gold and trade gold is not necessarily on the overall trend, but on the highs and the lows. And I'm going to switch setups so you guys can see it easier. Okay, so what I am starting to do as I trade gold is I don't focus on the overall trend. I focus on an area where there is a high, and if that high was retested, and I do the same thing with lows. So you can kind of see just within this area right here. I'll make a little box just so you guys can see it. So we'll have one line here, and then I'll do another one just up here. All right. So this area, it looks like very small moves. But keep in mind, from 3270 to 3304 is approximately 340 pips. So even though this is a very tight consolidation, there's a lot of money being made in this small area right here. Forget about the overall trend. I mean, just the pullbacks alone on gold are massive. So the only drawback to trading gold is that you're going to have to spend a little bit more time than you might like looking at charts. But if you see this high right here, obviously you wouldn't have placed a trade here. You would have waited for the following candle, and then this area or this high right here would have been where you put your stop loss, and then you would have entered on this candle as close as possible. And then you can just keep on selling until you see the lows being tested. So, for the most part, you're safe with, 100 to 200 pip take profits. If you want to be even safer, just use like a 50 pip take profit, and you can probably bypass any pullbacks. So the first step is to wait for a high or low. And then the second step is going to be when you see that high or low retested, that's when you place your trade. So we can also see there's another scenario. There was a low here, and then that low was retested again, but it didn't fall below this low point. So when you see these setups, this is where you want to buy. When you see this is where you want to sell. So again, we can kind of see another setup is forming. Right now it's 5 p.m. So the US market just closed, and everything is going to reopen at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So the next setup that's forming is right here. So there's a low here. So if I wanted to trade this, I would place a buy right here, and then this would be my stop loss right here. So at 32.84 would be my stop loss. And this way you can have a low risk trade when it comes to gold. But if you start using the low for the day, for example, you're going to have massive stop losses. And if one of those hits, it's going to be a hard loss. So this is my recommendation for trading gold. Ignore the overall trend when it comes to trading gold, and just focus on the highs and lows and the retests. And I think you're going to do very well. I have already started seeing some great results from my trading lately. With this approach, the only drawback is if I miss my entry, then I have to wait for another setup. And sometimes that can be 3 or 5 or 8 hours away to find a good setup. So that means spending a lot of time looking at charts. All right. Okay, so next on the list is going to be an analysis on the US dollar, Japanese yen. And this is a very interesting setup as well. One thing to keep in mind is the top currencies. You have the Japanese yen, you have the pound, you have the euro, and you have the US dollar. So you can understand a lot about what's happening in the world when you trade these different currency pairs. The US dollar, Japanese yen has a very strong correlation with the US stock market. So if you follow the Dow Jones, for example, you'll notice a very strong correlation with how these two move together. So today we had a big rebound in the stock market. So it's no surprise that you see this big bullish move on the US dollar Japanese yen. So again, as long as Trump stays away from trying to lower the interest rates on the US dollar and he stays away from pushing his tariffs, we're going to see the US dollar do pretty well. And this is also why gold also had a huge drop as well. All right. So this is a good setup here. Again, I'm a huge fan of the GDAX indicator. As long as the candles are above the EMA lines, that's a confirmation of the trend. And you can see here that the candles are above the EMA lines. GDAX gave a buy signal here. And if we go to the 1 hour time frame, just so we can see this on a longer time frame. We can see that the US dollar Japanese yen is doing pretty well. Now, I do want to point out that it is approaching a strong area of resistance. So whether or not this bullish momentum is going to be able to hold is going to be very tricky because all it's going to take is for Trump to say something about how he wants to move forward with his tariffs, or he wants to get hard on China, or just something that increases the tension with China, then this is going to collapse again. So it's going to be very interesting what happens. But from what I can tell is that most currency pairs are respecting their support zones. They are respecting their areas of resistance. And if you ignore all the news that's going out there, and you just focus on the technical aspects of the chart, the support zones, the resistance zones, the demand zones, that's pretty much all you really need to do. And you have to get the timing right. So if you miss your entry, I recommend looking at other currency pairs or just wait. Because if you get the entry wrong because of the wrong time, that's when you start taking on unnecessary losses. All right. And then next on the list is the pound Japanese yen. And this is another great one to trade as well. The pound Japanese yen kind of follows the US dollar Japanese yen. And as long as everything is good in terms of the trade talks, then the pound Japanese yen and the US dollar Japanese yen are going to be bullish. But just looking at this from a technical standpoint, uh, this is a pretty stable situation. And that's been consistent with the Japanese yen currencies. They've been very, I don't want to say easy to trade, but they're easy to follow. So the fact that the pound Japanese yen is all the way up here at this very high area of resistance, we can see that the price above 190 is not sustainable. So this is a good situation where you want to look for shorts, even though it's in an uptrend. GDAX does lag quite a bit. It won't trigger a change in trend until the candles fall below the EMA lines. And that's also why this is such a reliable indicator. But if you switch to like the 15-minute time frame, you can usually get some clues as to what's happening. So we can see here that the candles are falling below at least the first EMA line. And then once it falls below the second EMA line, that's when GX is going to be like, okay, you know what? Time to sell. But, you know, just like I was talking about gold, where when you see the highs and then you see the retests and you see that the retests are going lower, those are also signs of the trend going down. And as long as these highs keep getting lower, these are great selling opportunities, and the overall risk is quite low as well. Okay, so now what I want to get into is paper currencies versus cryptocurrencies. So you have the main currencies like the US dollar, the euro, the pound, and the Japanese yen. These are currencies that most countries are moving away from. Even Japan is converting 80% of their currency into Ripple. And Japan is the world's fourth largest economy. So there are over 55 countries that are now using Ripple. And I saw somewhere that there's like a new country being added every week. And there's already over 200 customers using Ripple as well. And then you have Bitcoin, which owns 66% of the crypto market. The interesting thing about Bitcoin is I don't think it has that much farther to go. There's already 95% of Bitcoin in circulation. So perhaps when the last 5% is mined, we can see Bitcoin shoot up way above 100,000 and maybe hold its value. But Bitcoin is really designed to, you know, I guess maybe hedge against inflation or just to have something that's very valuable, but is not really designed to use transactionally. Ripple, on the other hand, is like the new improved version of Bitcoin that is designed for transactions. So I do have my 5 picks, and I strongly recommend that you start getting into crypto if you are not already. Not only do I recommend investing in crypto, but also having an income in crypto as well. As a trader, when I receive profits from trading, I receive my profits in USD Tether. And then I can convert that into US dollars. I can convert it into other cryptos. And I am not so dependent on the US dollar. And because of all these trade wars that Trump has started with so many countries have also moved away from the US dollar. So crypto is the solution to handle inflation. It's the solution to handle all the regulations. I was talking with somebody who lives in the UK, and her and I was able to send money to each other in seconds. I mean, that's priceless. And Ripple is allowing countries to do that, countries to do trade deals in Ripple, and banks and institutions are using Ripple. So I definitely think this is going to be a massive change to the currency market. And right now, Ripple is only $2 a coin, and it has a market cap of only 120 billion. I personally think the market cap for Ripple is way undervalued. This market cap should easily be over $1 trillion. When Japan finishes their conversion of 80% of their currency into Ripple, think about what that's going to do to the supply of Ripple. Japan spends about $700 billion a year in trade. So, even if 500 billion of that is in Ripple, I mean, that's already, a massive change or massive increase to the market cap. And then when you add, the 55 plus other countries that are going to be using Ripple, as well as banks, the true market cap for Ripple is probably somewhere around 5 trillion, if I had to guess. But it's definitely above a trillion. So this is a historic opportunity to get into Ripple now. And who knows, they might actually cut this off for retail traders like you and I. Stellar Lumens, that's XLM. That crypto was designed for, people like you and I to do business in. XRP, Ripple, was designed for banks and countries to do business in. So the value of it has to go up. It's not going to stay at $2 forever. With the current circulation or the current supply, we would need to have a 5 trillion market cap for Ripple to reach $100 per coin. And that's a very realistic number. And keep in mind, every transaction in Ripple lowers the supply because Ripple has a coin burning mechanism where every transaction burns part of the currency and removes it from the supply. So when you remove Ripple from the supply, you increase the value of it for the remaining ripples. So I wouldn't be surprised if banks want to start cutting off Ripple to the public, which means this is a great time while Ripple is still available for people like you and I to get involved because I think Ripple is going to make the next set of millionaires, just like what happened with Bitcoin. There was a time Bitcoin was only $5 per coin, and then look what happened. And if Ripple is the improved version of Bitcoin, then the sky is the limit. The next piece that you need to understand about crypto is legitimacy. So there's regulation behind crypto, but not all cryptos are compliant. There's this thing called ISO 222, which provides a unified framework for developing messages across various financial domains, including payments, trade, finance, and securities. In other words, this helps crypto be legit, and it helps avoid fraud. It helps avoid waste, and it streamlines the process for how payments are conducted. Now, I did look at the different currencies that were already on the ISO 222 list. And what's fascinating is some of the currencies don't have a coin burning mechanism. So it's going to be very hard for them to increase value. And the other coins just aren't as popular. So this brings me back to I was looking at Cardano, and because that's another popular coin, and it has potential, but I don't see it having more potential than Ripple. So this is a great time to start learning how to make money in crypto, in addition to your normal income. And working with somebody like myself can definitely help that happen. All right. Thanks for being with me in this video. I know it was quite long, but I hope I was able to give you a lot of valuable information. And I look forward to working with you. Make sure you reach out to me. You can send me emails, messages. If you just go to my website, or if you respond to or you post comments on the video, I will definitely answer and get back to you. All right. Thanks once again, and take care.